who's going to fight with members of Congress to bring responsibility to the federal government and actually to make the federal government do what Americans have to do around their table every night and figure out a way to balance their budgets? That's what these liars said they were going to do in 2010. That's what these liars said that they would bring to Washington, D.C. when they went in as a Tea Party savages. They were, we're going to be savages. They talked a lot like we did in 1994, that we were the barbarians at the gate and we were proud of it and we were going to go and we were going to end pork barrel spending and we were going to balance the budget and we were going to pay down the debt. Now, there's a big difference between what we did in 1994 and what Republicans did in 2001 and again in 2010. What we did was we balanced the budget for the first time in a generation. And in fact, we balanced it 4 years in a row. Only time that's happened in a century. In 2001, when I left Congress, we had a $155 billion surplus. Republicans took control not only of Congress, they took control of the White House. By the time George W. Bush left office, we were pushing trillion-dollar deficits. And now, after the Tea Party came in 2010, what's happened since the Tea Party took control of Congress in 2010? Well, when they took control, you had a deficit around $12 trillion. We're at $26 trillion right now. Even before the pandemic, it was $23 trillion. Republicans have been spending like drunken socialists since Donald Trump got elected president. The biggest deficits ever, the biggest federal debt ever, the biggest, most bloated budgets ever. What are Republicans going to do? I went to Congress because I'm a small government conservative. And now, by the way, all you yahoos that come up to me and go, I used to like you when you were conservative.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, Yahoo.
Don't say that to him.
Hey, Yahoo. Hey, Yahoo. Get your head out of your sandbox. Because when I went to Congress, I was for balancing the budget. When I went to Congress, I was for responsible budgets. When I went to Congress, I was for actually pushing back on Russian aggression. When I went to Congress, I was actually for the support of U.S. Democratic allies. When I was for Congress, I went to look down, to stare down, actually, tyrants and autocrats across the globe, communists in North Korea. And of course, yes, pushing back on the Russians when the Russians needed to be pushed back upon, pushing back on the Chinese when the Chinese needed to be pushed back upon. It just doesn't happen now. And now the U.S. budget deficit has skyrocketed to
Wait.
Get this.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yep.
$3.1 trillion in 1 year. Now, when I went to Congress, you can look at my campaign material, and I'm railing against a $4 trillion national debt. You see, it took us 220 years to pile up a $4 trillion national debt. Donald Trump and the Republicans in Congress have pushed a $3.1 trillion deficit in just 1 year. And by the way, even before the pandemic, I know you don't want to hear this because, my God, it reveals what a hypocrite you are, what a socialist you are. That you were supporting and I said, I told you this. I told you Donald Trump wasn't a conservative and you didn't listen to me. I told you he was a big spending Democrat and you didn't listen to me. And even before the pandemic, Donald Trump was piling up larger deficits than the United States was accumulating over its first 200 years as a nation. Okay. The biggest spending ever. And that's what you have turned your Republican Party into. So the next time you want to talk about who used to be conservative, put a mirror in front of your face. Steve Rattner, you've got a couple of charts on this.
Joe, I have a couple of charts, but you laid it out so clearly and passionately, I'm not sure we need the charts. But let's take a look anyway and see what's been happening to the budget deficit going. We can go all the way back to the era of Bill Clinton, and I want to give Bill Clinton a little bit of a shout out here, as well as your Republicans, for having produced this surplus all the way over on the left. You see, as you described George Bush coming in, you had a recession. You had 2 tax cuts, you had a war, you had incredible spending, and the deficit went from surplus to deficit. You can then see in the middle of the chart the great financial crisis and the recession that happened after that, when I think everybody agreed we had to spend. And you can see under the Obama administration and the Tea Party, the deficit working itself back to just, in quotation marks, about $500 billion. And then Donald Trump arrived. And we had a huge tax cut. We had rampant spending. We almost got back to $1 trillion deficit, even during a very successful time in the American economy. And then the bottom fell out, and we got to the $3.1 trillion that you mentioned. Now, nobody at this moment, I think, or very few people anyway, believe that we can't spend to fight the virus. But to your point, we obviously went into this very unprepared in the sense of already having $1 trillion deficit. Now let's take a look at the impact on the debt. And you can see over on the right that we have passed 100% of debt to GDP in fiscal 20. That's the year that just ended that you were mentioning. And that is almost the same as the peak we got to of 106% during World War II. So we are about to enter into record territory. You can then see the red and blue lines, which represent the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget's estimates of both the Trump and the Biden plans. And they essentially get you to a very similar place. They both want to incur additional spending to deal with the virus and other priorities, getting to about 127% of GDP by 2030, a level that before the virus, nobody thought we would get to until even over 100% until sometime after that. And to one of your earlier points, Donald Trump is still talking about the fact that he's going to reduce the deficit and how economic growth is going to bail us out of this debt mess and so on and so forth.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.